Joining us on the show now to talk about open mics, we have Eyes and Ears Brighton, runners of a couple of open mics in the North Lanes. We have Rosie Powell and Amy Forrester. Now, Rosie, you're a professional photographer, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
And Amy, you actually have your own solo career, music career.
Yeah.
I am Amity?
That's it, yeah. Kind of
so,
soloist.
Yeah,
thing.
so how did a photographer and a sort of musician join up to make an open mic night?
It's kind of, that's the way we met really, through music and photography. I had a gig that Rosie was taking photos for, and then Rosie ended up doing a few videos for some of my tracks, and then we kind of hit it off from there, and then thought kind of how, when I moved back to Brighton, how can we put on events that are a little bit different? So instead of, we give people like the platform to sing and try out their material, but then we offer something a little bit different than a free drink. We kind of, Rosie takes photos every week, and we give artists the chance to win live videos and things, help them with their promotion to becoming a bit further down the line. So
right, cool.
yeah, giving something back.
We noticed that we put photos up, and it's always something to share. Whereas I suppose you can share a drink with someone, or when you can be there at the time. But sometimes it's nice to make it last a little bit longer than the night.
And there's all that stuff about online presence, that you've got to be active online. So if we get regulars come to our open mic, they get photos taken every week. So they're showing that they're performing, that they're doing these gigs, and if people want to book them, they can have a look, and they've got those photos at the
So it's working, so it's getting the photos on the social media as well, and it's kind of growing that. And I guess it's great for any beginners who perhaps don't have the money or time to get professional photography done, to get some really nice photos of them performing in their sort of natural habitat on a mic. So the videos, how can someone win a video? Like, how many have you done so far with people who have come to your open mics, and how do people win them?
So we do that at the hot polls at the moment, and basically, because obviously we're there every week, without a doubt, listening to the artists, and if there's anyone that kind of we think, not necessarily like the best musician, but maybe the person who gives a good performance, stands out, we kind of just make a bit of a note and we think, oh, I like those.
Okay.
And then after like a few months, maybe like 2 or 3 months, we think, let's get these guys back, and we usually choose about 3-4 bands that we think would be good together, and we give them a bit of a longer slot. And then we call it a showcase, and it's basically the person who gets the loudest cheer wins, so therefore they get a good crowd, it's like a really good evening, and whoever wins, then we sort of organise to do like a live video shoot with them.
Yeah, we've got Such Small Hands already videoed, Fran Classics next. So yeah, exciting stuff.
Great. So in open mics, it's generally kind of a great sort of platform for those beginner musicians. They've got a few songs they've written in the bedroom, perhaps. Parents like them, so they're going to take them out, show the rest of the world. What's your advice to people who are perhaps like choosing open mic as their first platform for getting their music out there?
Yeah, I think it's important to get out of the bedroom with your music, because I've experienced it. You think you sound amazing, and then as soon as you've got maybe 2 or 3 faces looking at you, gone. You mess up, you make all these mistakes, you think people don't like what you do, but the more you practice, the more you do things live, you suddenly own a song, and you perform it like 1,000 times better just from performing it in front of all these different people. But as you mentioned earlier, it's not always about being the best musician or the best performer, it's how you interact with the crowd. Sometimes you can just get the crowd going, and that's like half the battle. And then automatically you're just adored because of your persona on stage. So yeah, it's just giving them the time, really.
And I think other people that are doing the open mic is such a big thing as well. I think, if you're used to just sitting in your bedroom, you might have your favourite bands that you listen to sort of on CDs or whatever, but actually some of the best music's like, from someone that lives maybe like 10 minutes away, and you wouldn't hear their music unless you heard them live somewhere else. And I think you can be highly influenced by people that are right on your doorstep. They don't have to be on the radio or anything, I think. And I think that's nice, and then you make friends, and then you maybe work with other people. And I think with choosing an open mic, it's also, I think, how it's run, the venue as well, that could be a good, there's a lot of places where it's either separate or it's within the pub, and also the people that do it, if there's, always like a good quality of people, then you're going to want to be part of that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So. I was going to say, because you run your open mics in pubs, there are others that run in cafes and different types of venues for different open mics, but I mean, do you find that it's better to have a really quiet crowd who are really appreciating the musicians, or it's better to have not a rowdy crowd, but a crowd, I mean, people are just going about their normal pub drinks with friends kind of thing, and just kind of that's the background. I mean, what works best for an open mic? Because that can be quite daunting for people who are doing it for the first time, like that loud pub atmosphere and trying to get across. Yeah, and kind of you feel like you also have to shout to be heard and things. Yeah, it's personally, it's been quite character building, because there's been gigs that I've had that I wish I hadn't turned up for. No one's listened. And then there's other times where you stop a pub from talking and you're like, oh, okay, that, like, wow. And it is, and I think it does build you as a character, but you're bearing your soul to people and you kind of want them to be attentive. But as you said, in pub environments, it's hard to kind of ask them to shush. Yeah. Kind of looking for a bit of an argument sometimes, but yeah, it can work either way. And I think there's so many open mics in Brighton that something we offer might not be what someone else offers. So you can work your way around, you can come to ours and maybe get a more attentive crowd at the Fishbowl that tend to listen, and then the Hot Poles is more like a lively pub at that time. So yeah, you can find what you're looking for, and you can test yourself in different areas, I think. But yeah. And a bit like gigs, you have good ones and bad ones, and some crowds will be good in some way, and so it's a bit of a real world experience.
It's quite fascinating as well when maybe there might be a time where you don't think anyone's listening, but then you finish a song and then the whole pub is like applauding. And so people listen in different ways as well, and I think you can grab someone's attention even if they're at the back of the pub.
Having a
chatting away. Cool. Open mic suggests that really it's a bit anything goes to some extent. I mean, there's a lot of acoustic things. You get poets from now and then. Is it really that case? Does anything go, or is open mic kind of there is a box where sort of certain things fit in and certain things don't?
We like to keep it open. So we've had comedians, spoken word, poet, and again we've had a poet that's shut the pub up. So it's anything goes. I mean, we've had all sorts, even but really good stuff. I think sometimes it's nice though. It's it's what it's about. Again, it's that influencing, and you can like something because it's nothing like yours. We've had rappers and just some really kind of MC Cashback, who I think is quite well known in Brighton. He came along and he wears a whisk around his his neck and just gives out like free tortillas and
baguettes
garlic.
and cheese and garlic out to the crowd.
Yeah, why not?
We were the closest and we didn't get anything.
We have the garlic.
Have you had any kind of famous musicians just give you an email and drop in, or can we drop in and do your own mic?
We had what was his name?
I've got famous, like big name.
Joe Matranga. I don't want to get this wrong, but
Joe Matranga.
Apparently he was like quite big, maybe not quite big, but he was relatively well known sort of in the emo scene maybe like 10 years ago.
Right, okay.
So he was quite cool. He was American.
Yeah, and we've also had a chap from In Me.
Oh
as well. Yeah, he's come along and played a few times.
The lead singer?
Yeah, no, the guitarist, Gaz Marlowe.
That's it.
He was good as well.
He's come along and played,
cool.
so it's
yeah.
Hopefully we'll try and entice a few more famous faces.
Have you got some favourite regulars that you look out for in the emails? Like, oh yeah, I'm great, they're coming back.
Yeah, I mean, trying to think now. We had a chap the other night called Max Taylor, beautiful voice. A girl, Deirdre Fargra, who's from, again, the States, who's over here looking to go to BIM, I believe, and just blows you away and just stops you and you think, wow.
Yeah. I think we've just been really lucky that touch wood, I don't think we've always had just good people. Yeah. There's never been anyone that we've been a bit like, well, I'm going to go to the toilet now, do you want to go? Do you know what I mean? We've had some really good people. I mean, we've got some regulars that it's nice to then start to get to know their words, which is such a bizarre thing, I think, to be singing someone's song that maybe doesn't even exist anywhere except for when they play them live.
Yeah. Well, I think it's only fair we tell the audience where they can check out some of your events, your nights. So when are you on? How often? And where can people find out more?
We do the Hot Poles every Tuesday from 8:30 until 11,
Yes.
And then the Fishbowl every Wednesday from 8:30 until we literally get thrown off.
Yeah, until the DJ arrives and then we're gone. And then we've also got, that's recently started, The Cyclist, which is at Brighton Station. It's a really nice
new bar
cafe, bar, restaurant, amazing food. And that's 6 till 8, so it's quite an early one. But yeah, we usually have like 1 or 2 artists playing like a 45-minute set. So it's just nice, again, it's having a bit more than 3 songs. It's nice to hear people for a bit longer.
And it's nice we get to see people and then say, you'd be perfect for this gig.
So you take them from the open mic and expand that to a full set.
It's like, want to hear more than 3 songs from you.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's, there's the 3 at the moment.
And online, where can people sort of catch up with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you can just use that search engine. Just put in Eyes and Ears Brighton, and you can also, anyone that's interested in performing at any of our nights, just email us at eyesandearsbrighton@hotmail.com.
Rosie, Amy, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Cheers.